The Great Canadian Notebook. No, yeah, I know you wanted to go out and get an oil change there. The Great Canadian Notebook is the name of Dennis Rimmer's collection. I say latest. It's this first collection of columns, and we welcome him to the program. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's been a while.
It has. Now, let's talk a little bit about your background. I say to people, a former broadcaster and columnist. So let's start with the broadcasting. Where did you work in broadcasting?
Where did I not work? Okay. I worked in Vancouver, Victoria, Saskatoon, and in Washington State. Okay, so you worked in a number of different places, and always as a jock, as a newsreader, or? All of the above. Okay. I was the creative director, copywriter, news guy, program director, on-air guy.
So you got to wear all the hats.
I did.
Okay. And where did the columns, so it's one thing to be in broadcasting. When did you start getting into the business of, writing columns and having them published?
I went to live in Bellingham, Washington about 1982, and I had this idea in my mind. And for me, it takes a while for things to actually erupt, I guess is the word. And Expo 86 came along, and I was talking to the editor of the local newspaper, and I said, I've had this idea for a long time about doing a column about Canadian stuff. We'll call it the Canadian column. He said, that's a great idea. Now, oh, my God, now I have to deliver it. Because I thought about it for 4 years but never did anything, right? And so we started it. We called it Perspectives on Canada, which seemed kind of highbrow, so I just called it the Canada column, and it was weekly for 14 years on the bottom of page 3 every Saturday morning in the Bellingham Herald.
Well, and here's the thing, is like some of the things are very, Canadian, in particular, like you talk about cheesies.
Yes.
You talk about Boris Karloff's connection to Canada, and in fact, in this city. But you're also talking about some people, and I don't know if you would have published this out in BC, but there's a very touching column in there about Jim McCrory.
Jim McCrory, right. Well, actually, after I moved back here in 2000, I stopped writing the Bellingham thing, but then looked for another outlet and found online outlets. There was Examiner.com, things like that. So I did the McCrory story for that. And Brian Cox.
Yeah, exactly.
The wifey person, Diane.
Yes, exactly. Diane. You better mention her or else you'll be in trouble with Diane.
Praise be to Diane, from whom all blessings flow. And she's 98% responsible for this book.
Well, here's the thing, is it's like, the content is, it's all over the map. What makes a good column subject?
I worked with a news guy once named B.R. Bradbury. He worked in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle. And he always said, if you can make the listener or the reader go, wow, I never heard that before, and didn't know that before. So that's sort of what I try to do. If I find something unusual, like cheesies, a lot of people don't know. You can't get them in the States.
Oh, I know you can't.
My relatives go crazy. I got to bring cheesies down. Whenever we visit, we have to get cheesies and things like that. In fact, I was born in Belleville, Ontario, and makes the city twice famous, once for me and once for cheesies.
There you go.
So, and Chimo and the Boris Karloff thing. I didn't know anything about that till I read a book about him.
There are some amazing stories and some terrific columns in the book. The Great Canadian Notebook. Your next book event is going to be in the Battlefords?
Yes, November 19th. It's a Saturday. We're at the Western Development Museum, and we also have books available there. Well, a couple places in Radisson, all the major stores in town. Pat's 8th Street Books and Comics.
All right.
Give Pat a plug.
I will for sure. Great to have you here.
Oh, good.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.